Good morning, this is the Eager Beaver Show.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and The Pepper Master, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
Well, good morning and hello, kids, and welcome to season 3 and episode, I'm going to guess, 208 of the Daily Beaver Morning Show. I have gone all hacker.
Yes. Yes, you have.
Man, yes, fully clothed. Yes, I was causing some trouble before the show. We're a little late because Mr. Grizzly forgot where he put his clothes.
I
That's
just
what I
got out of the shower. I just finished shaving, and I'm like, where I gotta put some clothing on. I can't do the show in my underwear. Well, I mean, I could, but it's a bit of a panic then to get out the door by searching for your clothes at the last sec. Anyway,
So people were wondering if it was a clothing optional show, so I figured I'd put on some extra to cover for you.
There you go. No, it's not clothing optional today, folks. No, that's Monday's show.
Yes, Mr. Beaver's. Oh, good. Keep them coming back. Mr. Beaver's about to write a manifesto.
Commando Kings.
Everybody, stop being douches and just be fabulous. There's my manifesto. It's not hard.
I can get behind that.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right. Today, recording day is Thursday. Yes, which means I have rehearsal this evening, September 14th, 2023. And it is going to be actually late summer day here at the Beaver Lodge. Temperatures are not even going to hit 20 today for a change.
Oh,
Yeah, we're going to get up to
wow.
19, but not 20.
It's only 12 right now in Ottawa.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wear a sweater to work. Yeah.
Hence the hoodie. See,
I'll change my chapeau for the day.
because I wake up earlier than my Beaver sweetie, and I try to catch up on some bit of news to make sure that I'm like as up to date as possible before coming on the show. I have to go to the garage in the morning. And the garage is not attached to the house. So there's a couple steps. So in the winter,
It's
it's
chilly.
like I'm like putting on like a blanket or something and like the boots, and I'm just like hobbling over there. I got a little space heater in there, and because it's just I'm otherwise all day long I would be in these things, and that's not good for hearing. So I'd like,
No.
but at 6:30 in the morning, listening to something on a speaker while everybody in the house is sleeping is also a no. So
That's not good for your health either.
that's not good for my health either. So yes, the hoodie was required this morning. I'm your host, the Eager Beaver, pronouns he, him. Hey, Mr. Beaver, eh? And with me, as always, is my good friend, Mr. Grizzly. Thank you to our podcast's founding sponsors, the Pepper Master, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, and CanadianTarot.com. And I'm getting better at doing that because since I'm not in my usual station, I have absolutely no script, so I have to remember I've got no place to look.
It's good, though. It's good. Look at the camera.
Yes. Hello. Yeah, the camera's in a weird place too. It's really, really high up because my
Yeah.
Beaver sweetie does some teaching. He puts the whiteboard up there so that we can see it all. So I'm in a weird angle. Sorry for that, people. All right, and Mr. Grizzly, let's say good morning to you and ask how's your mental health today.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Beaver. My mental health. I think it's good. I
Okay.
don't know. I woke up at 4:30 and couldn't get back to sleep. Just the alarm goes off at 5, but when you wake up half an hour early, it really throws you for a loop. So I'm kind of I don't know where I am right now. I had a massive migraine when I woke up, but it's gone now. So thankful for that. Yeah, I think I'm okay. I'm not hating myself. So that's a win as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. I'm feeling okay, except for one little thing. Yesterday, when you work out and a certain part of your body starts to hurt.
Hmm.
When I played tennis the other day, I noticed that there was something that I was taught in my lesson earlier that I had not been doing, which is coiling all the way before hitting. I would stop here. So I did that the other day, and I know they're not, but my obliques are feeling ripped right now.
Okay.
Every time I get up from sitting down, every time I'm just like, ooh, whoa, I worked those, didn't I? Apparently, I've been playing tennis wrong the last 4 years.
Well, you
I
learn
don't like to
something
play
new.
it right. It hurts.
Well, you can remedy that. You can remedy that with some pumpkin spice dude wipes. That's a real thing. That's a real product.
No
Plant source
way.
fibers. Yeah, it's a real product. Extra large dude wipes. Pumpkin spice.
So that's what they call it now. They call it dude.
Dude wipes. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're done. They just,
Apparently they're flushable. I don't
no,
know.
they're not.
Well, they say they are, but apparently, see, it says flushable wipes, but according to local sewage containment centers, they're like, no, they're not. They clog the things all the time. They're not biodegradable. You shouldn't be doing that.
Okay. It might be a little early in this morning for this, and this might be more casual Friday talk, but in our community, we just call it. Oh, I should not say that. No,
No,
it's
don't.
too early. It's too early.
Yeah, it's too early.
It's
It's
too
too early. I bought a bidet. I bought a bidet at the start of the pandemic.
Okay.
Seriously, I bought a bidet in March of 2020 because
We bought one when we moved in.
toilet paper wasn't available. So I just,
Same damn reason.
and you know what? It's awesome.
It really is. It really is. Oh my God. Okay.
And enough of that talk.
Enough of that talk. Okay. The True North Eager Beaver for all your sanitary needs. Sponsors, please. Hey, I will take money.
Yeah, but
I will.
I don't know if I'd be willing to accept any money from these people. I don't know. Wiping my ass with something that's flavored in pumpkin spice. That's just gone. That's too far, man. It's too far. That is a bridge too far. Like really.
See,
Why do I want a pumpkin spice flavored butthole?
See, we're not
like. Like, really? It's like dude wipes. They're supposed to appeal to the manly man. I don't really think that's what this product is designed for.
Oh, David
The
Mosscrop.
macho.
David Mosscrop would disagree.
Well,
He likes
I
pumpkin
think this
spice
is.
everything.
I think this product is designed for a specific group of society members of the male variety.
Uh,
Um,
I I
I'm just saying.
I see. I think it's cute that you think that the part of that what you'd wipe is your backside with dude wipes. You put
Isn't that
those in a gay men's store, and those sell like under that name.
well,
Take
that's
out
just
the
the thing?
pumpkins under pumpkin spice, and those sell like crazy.
Oh, I have no doubt. I yeah, baby wipes. Yeah.
I believe someone at the network calls it when you're done with nature's sleeping pill. And I will leave it there.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Enough of that. Enough of
All
that.
right. I fucking love pumpkin spice. Christia, I fucking love pumpkin spice.
I think Jen's got it nailed on
All right.
the Dumpkin Spice.
Exactly. There you go. See, this is why it's love, because you get me. All right. Moving to the family-friendly portion of the show.
That's probably a good idea at this point. I can't.
Why did you start me off like that?
I don't know. I'm feeling jovial this morning. I'm particularly jaunty mood this morning. I have a jaunty cap on.
Yes.
Feeling particularly jaunty this morning.
Yes, you have a little mischievous grin. All right. Do you have anything else you'd like to start us off with? Since we're already off the rails.
Well, there's coffee. I just ran out of coffee, and it is cheaper than a defense attorney. But I'm out of coffee. I thought I had a full carafe, and I don't. I'll have to make another pot. But I'm like, I'm not going to have time to make coffee. I'll have to wait till I get to the office. So I'm running on 1 cup of coffee this morning, and let's see how we make it through the rest of the day.
All righty then. Okay, so yesterday there were sort of two things in the news. The sort of trivial stuff that's meant to distract us was the fact that some guy decided to use a PA system to make a partisan announcement on a plane. And the plane was not a charter, but it was an extra plane that was put on the flight, on the schedule to accommodate. So it was pretty much all them, and it was arranged beforehand. But it was kind of a crazy thing or silly thing to do because it was on 9/11, no less. And then other people are now trying to do silly things like, they are circulating images of the prime minister making an announcement on the Freedom Train for Emancipation Day, which is the prime minister at a planned event making an announcement about the event to
They
mark
don't equal each
day
other.
as the prime minister does. And then I think there was another one that was Omar Al Gabra on board a Via train
Yeah.
talking about plans to change and upgrades being made to Via, which is something you would expect a minister of transport to do on board a train. Yes, it's a stunt, it's a gimmick, but it's directly related to the job.
They were planned events directly related to what they were doing there.
Exactly.
I don't give a damn that Skippy went off the rails on the plane. I don't care. I really don't care. Yes, it was partisan. Yes, it was hateful. Yes, it was bullshit. Yes, it was more of his rhetoric.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Exactly.
You want to boycott WestJet? Go ahead. I don't care.
Exactly.
I really don't.
Yeah. Now, if there was anybody on the plane who happened to not be conservative,
they may have been feeling threatened, perhaps.
Well, maybe not threatened, but I mean, definitely not
welcome.
Yeah, or this might not be a time to speak up, but if there were some, they were either very, very polite to not do something to capture that viral video to to be captured on that viral video moment. Seen people on Twitter say, I would have yelled something. So maybe, but here's the thing, right? It's no big deal, but I'm
It's
pretty
not.
sure that, like at a hockey game,
Mhm.
nobody, when they like put the camera and say, hey, the prime minister's here, like this, and some people don't even like that. I'm sure they don't want them to give the prime minister a mic at that moment. You've
Exactly.
come there for a hockey game. You come there for a
Yeah.
basketball game. You've gone to the theater. You're not.
You're a private citizen in that moment, basically. I mean, yes, you have a security detail because you have to when you go in a public space like that, right? It's just,
And using a PA system like that on 9/11 is probably not the best look.
it's a little insensitive. But then again, we're talking about somebody who has no sensitivity or humanity whatsoever. So
Right.
that's to be expected.
And on the list of crass things he's done.
Yeah, that's pretty, yeah.
So, people are losing their minds. For some reason, Jan Arden has become the target because she expressed that she didn't think that was okay, like millions of other people. But apparently, well, as she said on her Twitter account, apparently I'm fat, so my opinion doesn't matter.
Well, yeah.
Because the leading spokespeople of the conservative movement who are unleashing this on her for the last few years in Canada, like Doug Ford and Jason Kenney and Stephen Harper, were what? So it can't be because someone's carrying a lot of weight that makes it such that their opinion should be discounted, because that's definitely not the case. And there's precedent for that. So it must be because one is either female or maybe a successful artist.
Yeah.
Party doesn't seem to take too kindly to those types.
No. Well,
But that's
I have my own issues with Jan, but
you've mentioned that, but nobody deserves that.
no, that was not right. Look, here's the problem with these reformers, because they're not conservatives. They're not. The problem with the reformers is they are really stirring up the divide and the hate in this country. They're doing it more than anyone, and that's a prime example of it right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, they pile on, they pile on, they pile on. They tried to pile on me, but I just laugh at all of them. I laugh at all of them because they're so pathetic at it. They're not even good at it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a good insult game. They don't have enough snark. They're not very intelligent. I just laugh at them.
Yep.
And ignore them and go on my way.
Yep. Oh, and there people are of the opinion that, as expressed here on the chat, that she's been a little over the top in regards to veganism as well.
Yeah. Oh, agreed.
Okay. But she would be far from being the first. Right? She just happens to have a platform. And again, of all the things you can be over the top about, not killing eating other living creatures, not something I need to get worked up about. I mean, it's not my thing. I'm a carnivore.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But freedom.
Yep. I don't know. Freedom for me.
You want to be a vegan? Be a vegan. You want to tell the world about the benefits and the virtues of veganism? Go right ahead. You want to be annoying about it? There's no law against that. I'm good. It's like, do your thing. Make the world a better place in your own way. I don't have to agree. Or I have nothing against it, even though it's something I probably would not practice myself. But there's no universe in my mind where I think more ethical treatment of animals or better treatment of animals, even those we do intend to eat, is not a good thing.
Well,
right. So
I don't have an issue with that at all.
Yeah. So I'm just, and often, as with many cases, it's not the cause, it's methods.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You've got to distinguish them often. I always say it's something I say often. It ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. Sometimes what you want to do, your goal, your objective is great. It's wonderful. But how you go about it, case in point,
Well,
that board. Everybody wants to build homes,
hmm
but could we do it without the underhand underworld just giving away
well,
public good?
did you hear it the other day? He said, We're going to build 1,600 square foot homes with a front and backyard for $500,000 with a fully finished basement."
Mhm.
No, you're not, Doug. You're not building a damn thing. Your developer friends are, to begin with. The province of Ontario is not building anything. Doug's developer friends are. And if you can show me a 1,600 square foot house with a fully finished basement, a front and backyard, and a paved driveway for $500,000, I have some oceanfront property in Saskatchewan for you for sale. I'll give you a great price.
Now, yesterday, after Q Ian had a little fan fiction about the Prime Minister missing his own convention, I guess he didn't get the memo that the plane had taken off about 15 hours prior to him actually tweeting that. Yeah, it's like now that the Prime Minister's not going to make his convention, how many people are going to start plotting for him to? It's like because a light maybe went off on a plane. Precisely nobody. But if you want to rub one out and use a dude wipe on it, go ahead, buddy. Um, see what I did there?
Yeah, that's pretty good. You managed to slip it in. I'm going to slide it in right to the top. Don't you remember that from Whitesnake? It was a Whitesnake
Yes.
song in the 80s.
It's just, and then these are the people that tell us to get a life.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Just let
Nazi
that sink in.
Caillou is just a pathetic, hateful little man-child who seems to think he's a journalist.
Yes. But let's
He's
just
Ralph
take
Wiggum.
let's just take 2 seconds and let that sink in, that the person who tweets, well, gee, now that his plane is late and he's missing, are we going to have an A2 Brutus moment? Telling other people that they need lives. Let's just take a moment, let that sink in.
Let it sink. Let it sink. Let it sink. Let it sink. I'm trying to do the,
man.
what was it? Let it, what was this? Was it Let It Flow? No, Let It Slow. What was
Let
the
it go.
song from Let It Go? That's
Oh,
what I was trying to do. Yes. Let it sink
Let it
in. Let it sink
sink, let
in.
it sink. You really don't
No,
have to
Miss
think.
Stick, I do not have video from the London thing yesterday. I'll see if I can find something.
But that's exactly where I'm going. So the Prime Minister and everybody had let known that there was going to be a big announcement on housing and that it was going to be something that's never been done before and that type of thing, a whole new avenue. And what was announced was immediately dismissed in a very interesting way. And it was in the, gee, that's it? That was the big announcement? Wow, gee, you sure overpromised and underdelivered. But I think strategically there might be something a little more clever going on to this, and they're not getting credit. Yesterday, from a construction site in London, Ontario, the Prime Minister and the new Minister of Housing, Sean Fraser, announced $74 million in federal funding for the city. It is the first check that is being cut under Ottawa's $4 billion Housing Accelerator Fund announced in 2021. Well, people are going to turn around and say, well, oh, you're only getting the money out now. Well, yeah, it generally takes about a year or two to set up a bureaucracy, typically. And, well, the housing minister is encouraging other cities to apply. He says, quote, if you want me to show up, if you want the federal government to show up with financial investments that will directly support your ability to build more homes, give us a reason. That's an interesting tone. Now, You got Jagmeet Singh, who says Ottawa may be moving on the housing file, but the accelerator program was first announced during the last federal election in 2021. You've seen 8 years of this Liberal government not really take this seriously, says he. Now, I have a problem with him on this one, and I know that you do as well, Mr. Grizzly, because he's doing that thing where he's adopting the conservative talking point and he's
Mhm.
using it to skewer in order to create a little bit of difference. Now, he had a tweet out yesterday. Um, oh, darn. Of course, now I can't find it. And I put it in my
Of course
bookmarks
not.
too. He had a tweet out yesterday where he promised he's doing the same thing. Oh, there it is, as Pierre Poilievre.
Mhm.
Oh, and by the way, I'm now going to try to make a point of saying Pierre Poilievre because one of those other things that Anna did during her speech in order to fluff up Quebec is
Mhm.
that even though we all know that he was calling himself Poliver for the
Mhm.
longest time, and then he switched in her speech. He said, and in the province where everybody has always been able to correctly pronounce his last name.
That's cute. He incorrectly pronounced it or pronounced it. Look, it's his name. He
He
can pronounce it
pronounced
any bloody way
Manitoba
he wants.
style if you were
Yeah.
raised as an Anglophone.
Oliver. Poliev.
So,
Jeff
mm,
Poliver.
Polymer.
So here's the thing about the Jeff. I saw a yearbook photo of him in high school and his name was Jeff Poliev. Now I don't know if that was doctored or if it was authentic, but I did see that. So I think that's where the Jeff is coming from. Whether or not that's true, I don't know.
All right. So we have a tweet from Mr. Singh here.
Mm-hmm.
And when Conservatives got into power in Ontario, they removed rent control for new developments. This is the result, a $7,000 a month rent increase. Pierre Poilievre will do the same for his big real estate buddies. They're his top donors. Justin Trudeau won't stop him. I will.
That last part was not necessary
That last part was not necessary. And
because
here's,
it's provincial.
yeah.
It's a provincial thing. He can't stop it.
And now I call this stuff getting juggy with it.
Mm.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Getting juggy with it. I hate it when he does this.
Yeah.
And
He's ruining the brand of the New Democratic Party when he does it.
but here's the other thing.
And he's losing people along the way.
It's ending that tweet with I will.
Yeah.
Because Pepe Von Snipes has been
Mhm.
ending a lot of his tweets with I will.
Mhm.
And
So
here's
he's just
the thing.
copying him.
But here's the thing. You, Mr. Singh, and you, Mr. Poilievre, keep on saying that you will stop provincial premiers from doing things in fields that are constitutionally their exclusive domain.
Right.
But just like Le Pew, Mr. Singh, you never say how. How will you stop Ford, Mr. Singh? Plans, details. This is what your fourth election that you're going into
Mhm.
as head of the party. You've been around for a certain number of years. If after all of these years, and that's the same thing for Poilievre, in government, you are going to say you will, and you do not yet have an outline of a plan. You haven't yet started to work on that, something that you can tell us other than he's not doing it. I will. It's hot air, and we don't want to hear it.
Nope.
Plans, methods, details, strategies, budgets.
Give us that. That's what we're actually concerned about. Informed voters are. But right now he's going after the uninformed voter.
Pierre's
The
been a
ones who don't know
politician.
civics.
Pierre's been in the House of Commons for nearly 20 years. Jagmeet's been in there for what, 10? At
Is
least
it 10?
11?
No, I don't think so.
Well, 8 years at least.
Oh, yeah.
All the time that Trudeau's been there, and I think he was there before.
No,
Wasn't
no, not the whole time Trudeau's been there.
No, not the whole time Trudeau's been there? Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
just seems like it. I'll just say, there's no excuse. None of you are fresh daisies here to government.
2019, he became a member of Parliament for Burnaby South.
29.
He was an MPP prior
Oh,
to
yes.
this. Yeah.
That's right. Right.
2011 to 2017, he was a member of for Bremelia Gore Malton.
Okay. So then it'll probably be his third election, then not his fourth.
Assumed office February 25th, 2019.
Yeah, 2019, 2021. It will be his third. Yeah. There might be 2 years to go.
Mm-hmm.
You can't coast on he's not, I will for 2 years. And particularly the conservatives, because we know that they do not like to actually release platforms anymore.
Mm-hmm. Or mandate letters.
So, I mean, how are you going to do that? Yeah, really. So, I mean, you can't maintain a 14-point lead, let's put it that way, for 2 years with he's not doing it, I will.
It won't work.
Right. So we need to start asking how. I will fix that. How? I will fix housing. How? I will give you a powerful paycheck. How?
How are you going to do it? Really,
How,
that's
or
the
I don't wanna
question
hear it.
that's never getting asked. Well, and that's the thing. It's like, stop with these false platitudes. It serves nobody any real purpose, and all it does is just piss people off because you're not giving us any real answers to any of the questions we're asking you.
Yeah.
What about housing? I'll fix it. How? No, tell me how. What's your plan? Lay something out for me right now. How are you going to fix this problem? Because constitutionally speaking, that's the responsibility of the province, and they download that to the municipality.
Yeah.
So, are you going to get into municipal politics after you invade provincial politics? Because you can't do that.
Right. Right. Now you got PP being completely useless by making quips like under Trudeau, Canadian homes cost over 50% more than U.S. homes, and you can now buy a castle in Sweden for a lower price than a 2-bedroom in Kitchener. Okay. Completely useless, completely irrelevant. Different economies, different cultures, different policy, different everything, different taxation, different treatment of healthcare, just completely useless. Contributes
Completely.
absolutely nothing worth it. They're interesting tidbits, they're anecdotes or whatnot. They mean nothing. It's just dumb.
Well, and he's pandering to the loco, right? The loco, lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
The uninformed individual who will get fired up over some slogan like "Bring it home,"
Yeah.
which doesn't mean a damn thing.
Right. So, but here's the thing. And also, the CMHC has come out with a report yesterday saying that we are actually building homes faster. However, because of immigration, asylum seekers, refugees, put it all together. Yes, and we also bring in foreign students and foreign workers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough. I mean, before we were building, before we needed to build about 15,000 homes per certain amount of time in order to keep up with that. It's like now we have to build 40,000 to meet for demand and supply to meet, not surpass each other by the end of this decade. So this is going to be at least a 7-year thing from now. So when PP says, I'm going to solve this, CMHC says it's going to take at least 7 years at least.
Yeah, so how is he going to do that?
Unless we build even faster than what the CMHC says that we have to build at to meet that target. Which we're not now.
Are we going to start? Are we going to start doing? Remember that hospital they built in 3 weeks in China?
Yeah.
At the start of COVID,
Yep.
Is that what we're going to start doing?
Well, that's where they're suggesting some prefab, some modulars, get some stuff out.
Well, I'm fine with that.
Right.
I have no issue with that. Let's make it happen.
Let's bring back strawberry boxes.
Exactly.
Right.
This whole you're gonna have a 1,600 square foot home with a fully finished basement, a paved parking lot, a paved driveway, and a front and backyard for $500,000. Okay, no. First off, $500,000, whether you like it or not, is still a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's outside of my
That's
area
not
of
affordable.
affordability.
Affordable for who?
Somebody middle class.
Where I bought right now, where we are right now, 2 years ago at the height of COVID when the prices are crazy, it's like
Mhm.
nowhere near 500.
Right. Right.
Nowhere near 500. So, I don't know what he's talking about. Now I know it's Toronto and stuff like that, but I mean, people need housing all over, right? Like in Timmins and Sudbury too, right?
Mhm.
Those
Mhm.
those Greenbelt homes are not going to help anybody in Oshawa and Kitchener and Windsor.
Eastern Ontario.
Yeah. So,
Thunder Bay.
that's what I mean. There's no plan for the entire province. He just seems to have a plan
No,
there.
no. Well, no, in Doug's universe,
Okay.
Ontario is the GTA.
So,
That's it.
right. Now, here's the point where I think that this strategy might be brilliant. While you've got Pierre saying that the CMHC is a gatekeeper, just before the CMHC says that the government, that housing is actually being built faster at the moment. It's just not keeping up with the rates of immigration. Now, the immigration minister has been saying that they're willing to look at immigration rates to see if maybe if they have to change that to make that match. That's probably something that they can do that would help a lot. But then you're going to have the trade-off about enough workers. And same thing, the idea that they floated about capping foreign students as well. If you're not funding the universities to build more housing or colleges on their campuses, then right? If you stop,
Well, I know that Carleton U is building a new student residence.
but they're depending on them because they pay so much more for tuition. So if
That's
you
why.
cap the students, then who's making up the shortfall for the university? That funding's going to have to come from somewhere. So is the government going to get back into the game? Are the provincial governments still going to make up that shortfall? So it's very, very tricky. But here's the thing. It's like this one project, this announcement was to build 2,000 homes. On the way,
Mhm.
London wants to build 50,000 by the end. This is to start to build 2,000 homes. The City of London says that before the pandemic, they had about 300 homeless people. They have about 2,000 homeless people now. So this one is to at least meet the homeless deficit. And the Prime Minister has been framing this as we can defeat homelessness if we all work together. We have done it before
Yes.
and we can do it again. So he's dividing the whole strategy, the first one in terms of homelessness, and then moving on. Every city he goes to where he's going to be making an announcement, where he's funding the municipalities directly, bypassing the provincial governments, mostly conservative provincial governments, who
Mhm.
haven't been directing federal money on a whole bunch of files where it should go. And you have the leader of the opposition calling the people to whom the prime minister is distributing the money gatekeepers. And you've got Doug Ford, every time he's going out making a housing announcement, us reminding him and reminding all of us of his dirty Greenbelt deal, while the prime minister's going out and making a housing announcement every time, and it's a direct infusion to the city.
Mhm.
Over and over and over again. But for the prime ministers, for every municipality throughout Canada, whereas Doug Ford is just limited to Ontario, and everywhere he goes, it's scandal. So the prime minister can make more announcements and flood this out.
Mhm.
And if they do it with this happy warrior, hey, we can defeat homeless, everyone all together. And then you got some people going, bah, 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 bah. Over time, over 2 years.
Mm.
Ooh, somebody's been thinking.
Yeah, long game.
Somebody's been thinking. Just putting it out there for people who need a little hope.
Mhm. Mhm.
They're all trashing it.
No.
That's it.
Hope is a four-letter
That's
word.
it. Well, but in every city, when you go to every city and you make it, then 2,000 here, 5,000 here, 3,000 here, another 1,500 here.
Mhm.
And that's just for the first ones. And then people start seeing some things being built, and then they come back and announce the next round. And now because there are
Mhm.
things being built, there's some credibility because they started small. Ah, this may be very, 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 very smart. Just putting it out
Well,
there.
So there's talk about tiny homes, and I believe there's a small tiny home community in either Fredericton or Moncton. Somebody could have to correct me on that. It might be Fredericton. It's a small tiny home community, and the people who live there love it, and they've taken pride in their tiny homes.
Mhm.
And I thought that's kind of cool. It works well, and they like it, and it has everything they need, and it's comfortable, and it's warm, and it's cool in the summer
Mhm.
because they do have air conditioning. Because let's face it, it can get stiflingly hot in this country in the summertime.
Mhm.
Some areas more so than others.
Mhm.
Now, what I saw the last time I was in Geneva a few years ago was an entire apartment block made out of shipping containers,
Mhm.
sea cans.
Yep.
The whole thing, and they were all stacked on one another. It had outside walkways, so there'd be like basically a long balcony. It was a walkway stairwell. There was probably 100 of them in this block, and there was 4 blocks of them, and this was built on a university campus. And I thought, you know what, that could be quick and easy to do. Yes, you have to strip the paint out of the inside of them because it's the paint that they use on them is hazardous to human health because it is designed to prevent corrosion, i.e., rust, because they're at sea with salt water. So you have to strip them. So that's a process, but that can be done relatively quickly. Then outfitting them, you bring in prefab panels with everything in the panel. So you can make those prefab panels relatively. And what I'm saying is, we could do this.
Oh yeah.
We can do this if the will is there.
Yep.
The problem is the will isn't there because developers run this country, whether you like it or not. And I mean, case in point, look at the Greenbelt in Ontario. Developers run this country. It's true. I wish it wasn't the case, but it really is true. And the government is beholden to them.
Yeah.
And I know people don't like hearing that, but it's a fact.
Yep. Yes, it is.
And I'm not talking like, I've seen shipping container homes that are like 4 or 5 stacked in different ways. No. Like a single 58 or 60-foot one, like 20 or 30 meters, about 20 meters, I think is what they are.
Mhm.
Get a 20-meter single can. You can turn that into, it's like a trailer, if you will.
Yep.
Like in trailer parks,
Yep.
as in Trailer Park Boys.
Yep.
You can do that, and you can make really nice housing out of that. And I've seen it done in person. Not built, but the finished product.
Yeah.
And you can go online and find some of those communities that they've built throughout Europe, and it works.
Yep.
It works. It works well, and the people who live in them think it's great. And oh, by the way, what's the sound like? Well, they're insulated and they're very thick, strong steel.
Right.
They're pretty solid.
Yeah, they're pretty solid. Mr. Grizzly, how are we doing for time?
We got about 10 minutes.
Got about 10 minutes. All right. Because when you were talking about heat, it just made me think of a story that I had heard. There was some research being done. Actually, a CBC did an investigation where they put sensors, temperature and humidity sensors in 50 homes in 5 cities over the course of the summer. And they found out that some Canadians are living at temperatures experts consider unsafe, sometimes for days at a time, with little or no relief, even at night. Professor Glenn Kenny at the University of Ottawa says there's no question we have to be concerned. He studies the effects of heat and humidity on the human body, and he says that temperatures above 26 degrees Celsius can be dangerous for seniors and people with underlying health conditions. He says your body has to try to lose more heat, and your heart has to work harder to try and enhance that heat dissipation. So as you get above 26, it becomes more stressful on the body. And Dr. Aaron Orkin, an emergency doctor in Toronto, says it is time for us to start thinking about air conditioning in the same way we think about clean air and clean water, access to medications and access to health. Because if you can't even get relief at night, X number of days, 6-7 days at 30, when your body's not supposed to take 26, and also as you get older, right, your ability to sweat is reduced. So your self-cooling mechanism is not like when you are younger.
Well, and let's add something else to that, which might not be immediately considered, is as the cost of living keeps increasing, the cost of everything keeps increasing. People are finding ways to save money. So what do? They start eating less nutritious food so that their belly is full.
Yeah.
Well, what happens then? It just gets turned into fat. people become unhealthy in that respect, and then you become rather lethargic from it. You lose your will for exercise. You walk less. You cycle. You get less exercise, and as a result, your body can't cool down because you're now carrying extra weight because you've been eating garbage food because you can't afford to buy healthy, nutritious. Like, it's a never-ending cyclical thing
Yeah,
here.
exactly. And the reason why people are looking into this is because during the heat dome 2 years ago in BC, where 619 people died, most of
Yeah.
them died while indoors.
hmm
So,
It's a serious issue, and then the other consideration there is like, okay, we're going to have to do this with green energy, because if we're heating and cooling every house in Canada, which we're going to have to do in this part of the country, people who live in Eastern Ontario or Southern Ontario, for that matter, and Quebec, all throughout the province of Quebec, period. It gets crazy hot in the summer and stupid cold in the winter.
mhm.
So you have to heat and cool the house. And you don't have a choice in the matter. It's a matter, literally, of life and death.
Yeah.
So we have to find, ways to build up our green energy grid so that we're not polluting more, because let's face it, if Canada was the population of the United States of America, we'd need another planet Earth.
Mhm. But that's why these things have to be conditions in this new housing, particularly for university campuses, student housing, because here
hmm
in Kingston, I know there are some projects, condos that were built, but were built in such a way that they knew that students mostly would take them.
So they didn't
So they didn't
cool
put
them
air
properly.
conditioning in them. They built these new buildings and then put air conditioning in them. They said, oh, well, they're only going to be here 8 months a year and not during the summer. So why bother? And it's just like, no, it's just don't do that.
We can save a couple of bucks this way.
Yeah, seriously,
That's all it is. That's all it is.
man. Mr. Grizzly, do we have? Oh, I just wanted to actually, yeah, no, we're good. Do we have a show?
Yeah, I just want to go back to this one thing, because
Oh,
we
yeah.
started off the show in this way, this one little thing, this sort of a cyclical thing. They said a mask and gloves were enough to go to the grocery store. They lied. Everybody else had clothes on.
Ah,
Since I started the show talking about how I did not have clothes on, I thought it would be funny to end it on that note.
good. Darn. Now I'm gonna spoil it.
What?
I remembered one thing I wanted to say about jug meat.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The other thing that upset me about jug meat was
Mm,
if housing truly was this important priority for him that he's saying that it is now,
mm.
why was it not a term of the supply and confidence agreement?
Well,
We
it
got
should have been.
pharmacare, you got dental care, you got a little bit of stuff on GST.
Mm. No, this is just a buzzword thing right now.
So,
He's just following. They're just copying the CPC playbook,
but
and
this,
I don't
so,
care for it.
but that's where that's the thing that hit me was like, okay, we're juggy come lately here
hmm
as well. So, yeah, I'm not happy with him on this one. This one seems a little opportunist. A little opportunist.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's the end of this episode of the Daily Beaver Morning Show. We hope that you love listening to us because we love making this for you. Because sharing is caring, please let your peeps and poops know about us. And because democracy is something that you do, if you are in Manitoba, please again make sure check to see if you're registered to vote, and start talking to your friends and maybe people who don't usually vote about voting this time around. And you know. Uh, Especially if you're concerned about trans kids in Manitoba. Please donate to the Red Cross. Also, the Canadian government has announced that Canadians who make donations to the Red Cross for earthquake relief efforts in Morocco as well, where 2,900 people have died after a strong 6.8 earthquake shook most of the nation on Friday. The federal government will match donations up to $3 million there. So if you want to do that, if you are donating to the wildfires, I believe Air Canada now has a matching program. They've joined in, so they're going to double your donation or double the funds or match up to a certain amount. So if you want to give, this would be a good time because you'll get more bang for your buck. Also, write to your MPs as always. So just take care of all of that. If you would like to subscribe and make sure that you don't miss an episode, our pod page, sponsored by the Ray Girl, can be found at podpage.com/the True North Eager Beaver, lowercase letters with a hyphen between each one of those words, or you scan that QR code just under my chin, and that will bring you there. And since you're subscribing to stuff, why not make like Kit Elaine and subscribe to our True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated YouTube page. That's where you can find our shows. Our podcasts are there because those are not released on audio. So you can check those out as well as some shorts. Please subscribe. We appreciate it if you come. Like, share, subscribe what you see there. And if you appreciate our content and you like what we do and you would like to encourage us to do more, the squiggly that's by Mr. Grizzly's head will bring you to our coffee page. That's coffee, ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver, lowercase letters, all in one word. And that's where you can contribute to the Eager Beaver Lodge Hydration Fund to make sure that we remain. I know, Jen, I know you want me to say it, but I'm going to opt for humected today.
If you scan that little stamp I'm holding up, I got a stamp here. Little stamper. That is our YouTube QR code. It'll take you right to the YouTube channel. I know you're watching on YouTube right now, but just I'm going to be stamping stuff.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I love it. Okay. I think
I know a lot of people will go, I don't know what that is, so I'm not going to scan it, but human
but some will.
Curiosity gets the better of us. Some will.
Curiosity meet cat.
Mm-hmm.
Or cat meet curiosity. Anyway, from the Beaver Lodge, this is your Eager Beaver saying, it could be a tough world out there.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there.
Wait a minute. Had my Oscar speech yet. I'm not.
Played you off. I don't know what happened there. I didn't hit the button. It's weird.
Kid James.
Like, why did you go quiet? What happened? I don't know what happened.
From the Beaver Lodge, this is your Eager Beaver saying, it could be a tough world out there. They even play you off your own show. So please be kind to and gentle with yourself, Mr. Grizzly. Some words of wisdom, please.
Take your vitamins and drink plenty of water. That's all I got for today.
All right.
I'm empty-headed. I've only had 1 cup of coffee. I'm barely functioning as a human being right now.
No worries. I see that we have Kit James here, and Kit PNC said, good show just yesterday, James. I didn't see yesterday's show, James, but I've been watching a few more of them over the past few weeks, and you've been nailing it, dude.
Yeah, I haven't seen yesterday's yet. I saw that it was on, but I didn't have the time to get to it. So
good quality content. So yeah, good on you. You're doing good stuff. All right. Mr. Grizzly, please roll the credits.
I just got to find them. Oh, there they are.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum. And The Pepper Master, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
Mr. Grizzly asked me why I'm dancing.
Why are you dancing?
Yesterday, Team Canada was playing against Team Italy at the Davis Cup, and Alexis Galarneau, ranked 200 in the world, defeated Lorenzo Sonega, number 38 in the world, and then Gabriel Diallo, number 157 in the world, defeated Lorenzo Musetti, number 18 in the world, and then our doubles team of Galarneau and Vasek Pospisil defeated the Italians doubles team for a 3-0 sweep. Ooh, 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 boom. Today we take on Sweden.
Didn't Canada win the Davis Cup last year?
We did. We did.
Yeah.
But because everybody's injured,
Mm-hmm.
it's not Felix. And I mean, Dennis is there, but he's not
Yeah,
playing
it's
there.
not the usual.
So,
Not the usual cast.
and we have to win at least 2 of the 3 to move up to the next round. So people were wondering, maybe is it going to be possible? Because Italy and the other nation, I can't remember off the top of my head now, that we're playing are pretty strong. And boom, went in and got it done. The next gen is here.
Cool.
Boom. All right, kids, have a good day.